What up, world? Established Rich coming right back at you. And today, we got to talk about Charlamagne Tha God, DJ Akademiks, and this situation where a private warning turned into public content. And I'm going to say this straight off the rip. If a man calls you privately and says, be careful, something is moving around you, that might help. But if that same man gets on a national platform and starts bringing up your legal issues, your business connections, and what you need to address, that warning don't feel so clean no more. Now it feels like somebody is putting your name in the air at the worst possible time.
Alex, none of this is messy.
I mean,
I gave Ak a heads up on some stuff.
Yeah.
And now this stuff is coming to a head. And I think it's going to get worse.
It looks like it.
I think it's
And I tried to give him a heads up too, and he knows I did. And
George, why the f you wearing a Lakers hoodie? You should have had on a Toronto Raptors hoodie. What type of team member are you? What type of team player are you when you wearing the ops favorite basketball team? Me and I can have the conversation publicly if you want to. Because I want to know. I got
it should happen right here.
I got questions. I want to know about this stuff. I ain't seen none of y'all talking about this shit. Stop deflecting from this stuff. I want to know about these headlines that the Wall Street Journal and Inverse,
you and Charlotte,
and everybody else is talking about.
Please, because this is, come on, man.
No,
come on, man.
Listen, I have none whatsoever. Then there was another one. I saw some other, this is some other paperwork. I don't know what the f this is. But once again, I just want to know. I want to know about this. I'm going to read these two headlines again and then we can pay some bills and move on. But InverseWire.com says, pay no attention to the grand wizard behind the curtain. 5 lawsuits say the bets were rigged, the screams were bought, and even the chat losing its mind was a hire inside the machine that manufactures Drake. Grand wizard is mentioned in that. George Wynn. Ak, I want to hear you talk about that. And the Wall Street Journal article is, they looked like they were getting rich on Polymarket, but none of it was real. The prediction market has flooded social media with deceptive videos paid by paid creators, according to a Wall Street Journal investigation. Drake and Aiden Ross declined to comment for that article, as they should. And Shorty keep asking to date. She trying to finesse Polymarket for bread. Talk about me, don't talk about Rock Nation. Address y'all. Don't try to deflect and say Rock Nation is paying people to do X, Y, Z. This ain't got nothing to do with nobody. This is investigations that people been doing on you and your team.
We should have hit Ak.
George.
We could have had Ak come right before you leave.
Nah. I need this. I need
set the worldwide nigga that over.
I need the nigga that to sit with this for 10 days. Okay. All right. While I'm minding my business on an island somewhere. Okay.
I understand what Charlamagne is saying on the surface. He's basically telling Akademiks, you looking at Jay-Z and Rock Nation, but the real issue might be bigger than that. That could be the real concern. But real concern should come with real clarity. If you call me and say people are moving against me, but you won't tell me who, where it's coming from, or what I need to watch for, then you really not helping me. You just made me paranoid. And that's before we even get to the part where Charlamagne brought it to the Breakfast Club. Charlamagne knows better than most people that you don't talk through legal issues on air just because the public wants answers. This is how people hurt themselves. One sentence can become a clip. One clip can become something a lawyer has to clean up. So when Charlamagne says Akademiks needs to address State, Drake, Grand Wizard, or anything connected to lawsuits, my first question is, why would Akademiks do that publicly? That's not how serious legal matters work. You don't need to defend yourself on a morning show when courtroom and lawyers are involved. You handle that through your attorney. That's why Akademiks is asking, who is Charlamagne talking to? Because Charlamagne seems to know enough to warn him, but not enough to give him something useful. That would make anybody look at the conversation different.
I mean, been like trying to like, all right, like let's find the next way to, you know, kind of become like a bigger commentator and a bigger figure. And it's politics. Like Charlamagne's a political nigga. You get what I'm saying? But he wouldn't be saying nothing to me if it was some, oh, I was like super pro-Democrat. But because I'm not super pro-Democrat, that's why he came with his bull thing that he had no proof of. I'm like, yo, come on, bro. Come on. You feel what I'm saying? Yo, the craziest thing too, when I start hearing even Charlamagne talk about, y'all man Charlamagne talk about like steak. I'm like, yo, bro, this is what I'm saying. Charlamagne got like, yo, let's sit down. We got to do it on both our platforms. Let's sit down and really talk about it all. Because I want to look Charlamagne in his eyes and say, nigga, how you got so much in opinion about steak or what you think steak is doing or what you think crypto gambling is or whatever you think it is, but you showed up there for Jay-Z when he was about to get a bid for the casino in Times Square, you gave a speech on his behalf, nigga. I'm listening to this new podcast, Charlamagne's like, yo, this is influencing the kids. Nigga, you tried to get a casino in the middle of Times Square. Bruh, stop it, bro. We gonna have to, bro, I'm telling you, I'm looking at him like, yo, it was music to my ears when Charlamagne said, nah, Act, we gotta talk about it. Nigga, I've been trying to talk about it. You don't gotta, I want to talk publicly because I don't have no secrets with nobody. Imagine me giving a steak speech. Yo, hey, listen. Yo, Charlamagne gave a speech, gang. Now he's over here talking about, oh, the kids is getting influenced by gambling, by streamers. What about the radio personality giving speeches at the town hall meeting? What is Jay-Z doing to get my nigga Charla moving like this?
Akademiks is fired up, but the question is valid. How did Charlamagne get this information? Who told him there were dossiers? Why is this being discussed on air and on a podcast if the goal was to protect Akademiks? That is where this whole thing gets messy. Because if a friend is really trying to warn you, the warning should help you move smarter. It shouldn't put more light on the very thing you're supposed to be being careful about. And this is where I think Charlamagne missed it. He may have had good intentions, but the moment he started talking about Akademiks' legal situation publicly, he gave the internet another reason to dig. That helps your show, but does it help Akademiks? That's the part Akademiks is reacting to. He ain't mad that Charlamagne criticized him. He mad because Charlamagne is acting like he's helping while making the situation hotter. And I can understand that. Now, Akademiks has to be honest too. He built a career talking about other people's drama. So he can't act shocked when his name becomes the topic. That comes with the game he chose. But legal issues are different. It's one thing to debate a rap opinion. It's something else to push a man to speak on matters that could affect his money, his business, or his freedom. That's not normal content anymore. That is dangerous territory. And Akademiks need to be careful not to let his anger do what Charlamagne couldn't do. Because if people are watching him, the worst thing he can do is get on camera and start talking too much, trying to prove he ain't scared. That is how content creator energy can damage your real life. Everything does not need a live response. Everybody don't need an immediate answer. And sometimes the strongest move is knowing what not to say. And that's hard for Akademiks because his whole business is talking. But when your name is attached to lawsuits and industry accusations, you have to stop thinking like you just entertaining a chat. You have to think like a man who understands that every word can be used later. That's where this becomes bigger than Charlamagne versus Akademiks. This is about what happens when media people become the stories that they usually cover. Akademiks has spent years breaking down everybody else's problems. Now his own business is being broken down in front of the public. That is a different feeling. And Charlamagne, being a veteran in this game, should know how heavy they can get when legal issues are involved. So my issue with Charlamagne is simple. If you were warning him, keep it a warning. If you were reporting on him, then say that. But don't mix the two and then act surprised when Akademiks questions your motive. Because a private warning and a public discussion are not the same thing. One can help prepare a man. The other one can make his situation worse. And right now, Akademiks feels like Charlamagne did both. And that's why he's talking about a war with media. He thinks people are trying to turn him from commentator into a target. Maybe he's overreacting. Maybe he's seeing something the public can't see yet. But either way, he has to move smarter than his emotions because the people who want him to talk are not the same people who have to live with the consequences if he says too much. That is the lesson. Charlamagne may have been trying to warn him, but the way it landed made Akademiks feel like he was being set up for public pressure. And if Akademiks is smart, he will respond with strategy, not just volume. Because when legal issues are floating around your name, the safest man is the one who knows when to stop talking. But hey, that's just my opinion. What's yours? Like, comment, subscribe. Established Rich. I'll be back with another one. Peace.